Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the season premiere of Rick and Morty, Summer of All Fears. And I thought this was an okay episode. There wasn't any kind of part where I really kind of laughed out loud or anything, but I think it was a decent, serviceable Rick and Morty episode to kind of dive a little bit into the characters. Though we really haven't seen, it doesn't really show us anything that we really haven't seen that much before. Mainly that Rick is a petty little asshole and pretty much locked Summer and Morty in a matrix because they didn't return his phone charger. And they pop back out. Pretty much having spent the equivalent of 17 years in there because Rick was pretty much asleep. But in the beginning of the episode, we see Summer as the CEO pretty much launching this ability to not need phone chargers anymore, pretty much breaking the kind of whole thing of the Matrix thing, and then finding Morty, who's been living in the woods. And we learned that he has had a shit time in this as the episode kind of progresses, having pretty much being caught trying to steal something to pretty much get out of it because it's a Matrix kind of thing, going through prison, getting utilized in wars because he can't die in there, but he still kind of does the die thing, revives, and losing all of the people and everything that he cares about, getting into this firefighting company. Summer pretty much orchestrating this war and utilizing Morty as a tool to get the lithium to get out of the Matrix kind of thing. It's like, god damn. So we see him pretty much come back into the real world. Beth is like, no, don't mind wipe him. Let's kind of see where this goes. And Rick's like, alrighty then. So Morty kind of goes off with him and pretty much is trying to build this kind of death race tank thing while dealing with his PTSD and remembering people. That's how it's kind of put throughout the episode. Summer going off where Beth thinks that she's kind of got this kindred spirit now that she's pretty much got the experience of pretty much being in her 40s from living throughout that Matrix, but she's just a criticizing asshole and just negs on Beth and tries to get her to buy her a $3,000 suit jacket. I mean, she goes into high school and learns why high school is the shit that it is, and it's like, fuck, man, I totally forgot about that shit. But Beth kind of gets fed up with her and tries to mind wipe her, and then she goes off to Santa Fe into this kind of middle age, new age kind of pottery place. It's like, what the fuck's kind of going on in here? And the funny thing is that gets linked up back in the Stinger where Beth has to fight him because they're age vampires, and why would throwing one out of the window and getting ready to stake her ass, but of course the sun kills her, and she's like, you picked Santa Fe for this, you dumb fuckers. Morty, of course, has decided to go completely crazy with his PTSD and utilizes the tank to pretty much try and make destroy this nuclear reactor kind of thing. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much to remove the need for electricity and chargers. But of course, once they start seeing the whole thing with Morty's rampage, Summer tries to go and stop him. They almost get a kind of turnabout. They had put Rick into... Well, Morty puts Rick into a Matrix kind of thing. We see him be able to get out of it pretty quickly as well, but not before Morty starts his rampage and almost initiates a nuclear reaction. Morty and Summer having a kind of moment thinking that they're almost in the Matrix kind of thing again, but Rick is able to gooify a couple of people and goes in and pretty much takes a little bit of the... Well, leaves them with his part of the tax that he did for saving them from a nuclear kind of meltdown. Let's see. So they do decide to have their memories wiped, Morty getting a tattoo, and Summer having a video from herself to kind of tell her shit about what's going on. Morty get this thing off my ass, and Summer just ignoring her shit and being a usual kind of teenager. It's like, yeah, normally I'd be like, you should listen to yourself, but yourself in that sense was an asshole, so just be yourself. So this episode was enjoyable. There was anything that I would say is really bad or really kind of good for it. It didn't elevate it to certain kind of Rick and Morty episodes I'm just like, holy fucking shit, what the fuck's gonna happen here, or whatnot. I mean, I like that they're able to delve into this kind of character moment and have the interplay of Summer revealing that she did use Morty as a tool just to get out of that matrix and didn't like bring his ass in on it. Like, there's definitely certain kind of ways that she could have gone about it in a better kind of way, so that way he wasn't completely and utterly traumatized and ready to pretty much blow up a fucking nuclear reactor for it. Like, shit. And of course, then being like, yeah, if you use his charger, because Beth was going to use Rick's charger to give it back because of all the kind of shit that's going on. Yeah, that's just Rick. We didn't really get much Rick here other than being like the one that pretty much saves the day with the whole kind of nuclear kind of meltdown thing going on and being like, yeah, the mind wipe thing pretty much helps out because you see what happens with that kind of shit. So, we'll see how the season goes. I don't think this is a horrendous start. This is season 8, so once you start getting long in the tooth in a series, you should be going for like a kind of end game goal. What are you going to try and do to kind of like end it on a nice kind of note? I know that's kind of hard to do. What We Do in the Shadows had that kind of obstacle of trying to balance and do that as well. But I really think that the showrunners should have that kind of in mind and kind of be trying to go for that because, yes, episodic content for Rick and Morty works pretty well, but the longer you go on, you're gonna start probably repeating certain kind of things or execute things that probably have been done a little bit better before, maybe in a little bit of a different kind of way, but you're still gonna be like, oh, this is kind of similar to one that I like a little bit better. So we'll see how the season goes. There definitely have been other ones that have been a worse kind of start, but I'm in for this. I mean, I always like to see what the showrunners have for this and what kind of other different situations. The stinger for the next episode is focusing on Space Beth, so we'll kind of see how that kind of goes. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.